Good morning. It is October 8th, 2025, and it is approximately 5:30 in the morning. And today's video, it's going to be a short one, folks. I apologize for the other ones being so long. But the United States is roughly 350 million people, maybe about 400 million by now, I don't know. 350 million and growing by immigration, not because we're having more kids, but we're about 350 million. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't think our population is really going to be changing anytime soon. In fact, we're going to be losing people unless we keep this immigration thing flowing, and we need them. But I'm listening to a gentleman, and you guys can check out his channel, Coach Greg Adams. And he's known as CGA. He's known as by a lot of names, and I really appreciate him putting out what he's putting out. But so many of what he puts out, definitely he's a very good observant of human behavior and human nature, and I really appreciate his contribution. But I just really think that he's kind of oversimplified things, and he's not really... It's kind of like he talks about going to junior college and dealing with these women and, extending the hand of support and friendship in exchange for sexual favors. And I just think life is too much of an oversimplification. It's too much of an oversimplification. And it's at a point where I'm just going to have to be a normie, as he calls it, and call it out for what it is. And basically, it's just by the power of suggestion. It's not hypergamy. It's just by the power of suggestion that women do and get away with what they do because nobody's holding them accountable. Nobody's slapping the hand when they go off and do this stuff. And we're all men. We're suckers for allowing women to do the goofy stuff that they do. I had a mother, and she bought into joining and becoming something greater than herself. She did have some regrets from time to time, but that's just human nature, because we're on a one-way road. There's no going back in time and undoing it. There's no reviewing how life would have been had we made a different choice in this thing. One of my most favorite movies is called It's a Wonderful Life. And the general story of the movie is a man grows up and he was hopeful to become a world traveler, an engineer, building bridges, building high rises and skyscrapers, and living a selfish but a fulfilled life. He had a dream of life on this one trajectory, and as it turned out, he started living for others. He started helping out. His father had a building and loan company that he worked for, and it was just a terribly unprofitable, but it was vital. It was necessary to the poor in the area where he was living and growing up to have an opportunity to live a better life. And long story short, some terrible thing happens. And it's such a devastating thing that happens. You guys should watch the movie where he's better off dead than alive. And that's where he actually thinks about jumping off this bridge in the dead of winter into the icy depths, and the ice water is going to, claim his life, and it's over. And God sends down an angel who jumps in the river, and then he jumps in the river to save the angel's life. And then ultimately has a conversation, and he says, I just wish I'd never been born. And he says, okay, wish granted. And he's like, what do you mean? I wish you can hear out your ear. He had an injury where he was deaf from when he was like maybe 5, 6 years old. He could hear out of the ear now. He had a busted lip, and at this time he's married when he wishes he was dead. So he had kids, had a wife, and had a life. And so he says, now you have a chance to see how the world would have been without you. And I think nobody really thinks about that. And I think what made me want to make this video was how Ayesha Curry and Stephen Curry, their life is being kind of put on display. She hasn't overtly done anything to break up the marriage, blow up the marriage, but she's saying things that are leading to that point. If she doesn't have some very wise counselors, which it doesn't sound like she does because of her being allowed to speak these things and get them on record where everybody is analyzing and studying this thing, and it's predicted that they're going to break up. Eventually, she's going to break up and blow up the marriage, and she's going to walk off with half the money. But she walks away with half the money. She's going to free Steph up to have a whole nother life with a whole nother woman. And I would just say whoever had married Michael Jordan way back in the day that broke up with him, she is a foolish black woman. She is a fool, because I just recently heard that Michael Jordan received something like $350 million last year as a pay bonus from Nike, and he hasn't even touched that money. Yet here it is, he's getting another dividend bonus of about another $300 million. It's just obscene wealth and riches. And I'm pretty sure his ex-wife, she's got money, but she's going to spend that money. I guarantee you that money, she's probably spent half of what she walked away with in the divorce. But here it is. The goose that lays the golden egg is continuing to lay more eggs. In fact, he's laying more eggs now that he's no longer playing basketball than he was when he was playing basketball. And he doesn't have to really go out there and abuse his body to do it. But his ex-wife is now older, less attractive, and I don't even remember her name, but here it is. I remember Michael Jordan's name. Same thing with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq's ex-wife, I don't even remember her name now. But I know Shaq is making more money. And he's saying he's not talking about his ex-wife. He's talking about these young women. He's talking about business. And he's happy. Now, he could be happier had his wife had some sense and just shut the hell up and did what she was supposed to do. But she's thinking, I could have lived a better life, without Shaq. And it's like, oh my God, your life has been nothing but wonderful since Shaq. So anyway, I know sometimes I go off on tangents, but I'm just saying the women here in America, in the West, make up not even 1% of the whole total population of the earth. And not even 1% of the total population of women on the earth. And here it is. You're making a sweeping generalization of how women behave and how they act. And yes, this same attitude is starting to spread throughout the world. But I would say that this is probably one of the biggest motivations and one of the biggest reasons why men in America need to go. But you guys also need to understand that a lot of the things that people are telling you need to do to combat and deal with these women here in the States, you go over there to these other countries with that same attitude, all you're going to be doing is promoting the same kind of behaviors out of these women that are like saying, no, we want family. We like family. Family first. We're willing to sacrifice for it because we see how we benefit joining something greater than ourselves. And it's not joining a big corporation. It's not getting your college degree that's going to make you great. Because if it did, black women, if they want to say that they're the most educated group, they're the most undesired group as well. So it's not a college education that makes you attractive as a woman. It's an attitude. And your attitude clearly demonstrates that you just are not as able to make the kind of money, to do the kind of things that men are capable of doing. My ex-wife, she can't make the kind of money I make. She can't do it. She's a nurse. And she's happy being a nurse. Last time I spoke with her, I said, if you had to do all over again, would you do anything different? No, I'm happy the way things worked out. I'm like, great. If I had to do all over again, I don't think I would have gotten married. I don't think I would have had kids until I was 35, 36. but I had to roll with the punches and do what I needed to do. So I just would just have women reconsider in the West that a lot of things you guys are accepting as this is part of your nature. No, this is a part of the world giving you an excuse to continue to be immature and to think that for a woman like Stephen Curry's wife to say, I'm still kind of wondering what if I had been more selfish. I've lost myself because I have, hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank that I never would have earned because I don't really have talent, but I feel like I've lost myself. I need therapy. No, you need to just understand that your life is the way it is. And if you're such a great person, then you should pour into your children those things that you thought you could pour into your career, but you didn't do it as a result of having children. And make your children to be something, to be great individuals beyond the child of Stephen Curry. You should are you teaching your children how to play an instrument? Are you teaching them how to speak a second language? Are you trying to learn another language? So many things as a result of you being the wife of Stephen Curry affords you opportunities to become more of a wonderful person on your own merit, but in a different way that's not self-serving, that's not self-aggrandizing, and you're getting old. I look at pictures of you when you were younger, and you were a very beautiful woman. You're still a beautiful woman, but time has slowly started to take away that free gift that puts you in a position to where you'd win favor with a man like Steph Curry. You thought he was just going to be a high school basketball coach. Now it turned out to be one of the greatest basketball stars ever, and he's still going. He's still going. Where would you be if you hadn't met this man? You damn sure wouldn't be in a position at any time to blow up your marriage and be rewarded with hundreds of millions of dollars. You damn sure wouldn't have been able to do that. So you need to be like the guy in the movie It's a Wonderful Life and realize that your life is what it is, and you need to appreciate the goodnesses in it, as well as some of the great bullets that you dodged, because you could have been out here getting railed out by a whole bunch of men that don't give a damn about you. Start talking to some of these women that are basically trying to get you to have a whole face, and ask them, how many men have you slept with, and how has that made you a better person? Has it made you a multimillionaire? Has it put you in a position to be married to a multimillionaire? Or has it just put you in a position to be a hoe? Talk to y'all soon.